Today is a review and guide for the Clone Pilot Talent Tree specialization from Star Wars RPG Rise of the Separatists. So, Clone Pilot Talent Tree. First of all, Clanker Killer. There's an aspect of Clanker Killer I haven't really touched on, partially on purpose. So, Clanker Killer, as I talked about in the other two trees, Clone Officer and Trooper, or Soldier? Trooper, they both had at least one rank in Clanker Killer, which is basically favored foe against droids. It kind of makes sense. You're built to fight against the droids, or fight in general, and you're mostly fighting droids is the point. So you get help fighting them. But here's the thing, it's not just help against droids, but also droids' vehicles and droid vehicles. Or rather, vehicles being piloted by droids, like the tanks from Episode 1, or vehicles that are droids, like the droid starfighters and bombers. Any attack check against those, as well as just basic droids themselves, they get the benefits of Clanker Killer, which means we have a pilot with some help on the ground, which is just something you have to cherish because you don't get that enough as far as I'm concerned. And that's one thing with pilot, is that you're really good on the ship, but how useful are you outside the ship or outside the vehicle? It typically requires a bit more work from the GM to make you useful, or by yourself to, is there a vehicle to do this? Maybe there's a mining car near this particular facility. I could drive the mining car to do a thing or something. Point is, you and the GM tend to have to work a bit harder to feel useful if you're playing a pilot character. It's nice to have a little bit of respite from that with Clanker Killer. It's not much, but it's something. And also, when you're looking at the other trees, you should take that into account. A bit of help against vehicles and the like. Okay, now for the rest of the tree. First of all, we gotta talk Barrel Roll. Barrel Roll is sort of the crown jewel series of talents for this particular tree. Every tree tends to have them, except Fringer, because Fringer sucks. Barrel Roll, I got issue with, but not because it sucks, because it's really good. Like, too good. In fact, so good it should probably be a core gameplay mechanic for the starfighters or vehicles or ships. You know, it shouldn't be to one specific tree as far as I'm concerned. I think the vehicle combat could really benefit from this in general, but basically it's sort of like a parry or reflect kind of deal. Basic, improved, and supreme. Although basic isn't ranked. Is it ranked? I don't think it's ranked. Does not appear to be ranked, but you reduce damage, and also under certain circumstances you can even reflect some damage back. This is really great, really helpful, probably one of not only the best but also just most interesting to use series of vehicle piloting talents in the game. It's a shame that other people don't get to enjoy it. But if you're a clone pilot, eventually you get to do it whenever you want. I guess they're just some of the best pilots in all of the galaxy, which kind of makes sense. They have some really great piloting talents that just help you with your piloting checks. This includes a rare reroll with one talent, another talent which is also rare, but you get to add results onto your piloting check, and a third where it helps you with your action economy. You have an easier time doing more stuff, but it is going to cost you a bit, stress you out a bit. Speaking of stressing you out, high G training, where basically you as a pilot get to tank strain for your ship. You take on strain so your ship doesn't have to take on system strain. And this actually pairs really well with Barrel Roll because that's going to cost you system strain. So, do Barrel Roll to take on system strain, then, if need be, use your high G training ability to take on strain instead of system strain. Spread that out amongst yourself and your ship, so you're less likely for either of you to become incapacitated, or whatever terminology they use for a ship that's sleepy. We also have a decent, average amount of grit to help with that. Also helping with that is a talent which helps you defensively, but it has no cost, let alone strain cost, so you probably won't need to use Barrel Roll as much as you would like to use Barrel Roll, because it's a really great talent. This is actually starting to feel like the clone officer version of a pilot. All of these are really good. I think they really brought their A game for these. I mean, Clone Trooper was pretty good. Not quite as good as Clone Officer, but this one, Clone Pilot, I would say they're pretty close in quality. Really good, really well built to do their role. About as much as you can expect, and there's so many talents that deal with it to where it feels like you could split it up, add in some filler, and make two piloting trees out of it. I'm starting to get that same vibe. Maybe not quite to the same extent as officer, but still pretty close. And I think that was intentional because it's a clone career. I think the idea is that you would have to play a clone species. You're limited in your species in exchange for getting a really awesome tree. Just a random thought off the top of my head. Take it for whatever it's worth. Where were we? The vehicle version of Quick Draw, where you can mount or dismount more quickly, which is, that's one I have issues with. I can't wait till we do the vehicle video, when we talk about vehicle and vehicle ship related encounters in vehicles. I got lots to say. Probably be a multi-parter. Anyway, finally, let's finish off the tree with the offensive stuff, or really I should say the offense-related stuff. It's more of a team buff. You use your combat check to help support another teammate. It's called fire support. You lay down some fire support, they have an easier time doing a thing, whatever it is they're doing, but you have to be using a vehicle weapon. We also got some basic full throttle to help you with your vehicle speed, that kind of goes without saying, and a really weird one, which I kind of like the idea of, assault drop. Basically, you can get your allies to get on or get off your vehicle that you're flying more easily, which could make for a really awesome escape, and it may just swoop in and save the day, which may be exactly what your group needs. Also, I guess you could drop them. I kind of wish it was paired with you can reduce fall height by whatever feet, because there's gravity devices or I don't know. They can fall from higher without damaging them. I wish there was just something slightly more to it, but if you do have equipment, jetpacks, I know there's boots and other stuff that can slow fall. You can do a plan that involves maybe stealthily flying in and dropping off your team at the right place or something, and the other half of your team parks as normal. Seems like it could be really situational, especially like if you're trying to save the rest of your team. What are the odds that you were separated from your team to begin with? You could do stuff with it, but I don't know, it seems like it wouldn't come up that often to be useful, but like I've said before, not every talent needs to be great. It's fine, and with some creativity, you can have some really cool moments or story moments that you talk about for years with it. So yeah, it's good. So when building your clone pilot, strain is really important. A nice solid will of 3, agility because you're a pilot, of course. Cunning a little bit because we got the full throttle. It's based off of your cunning a little bit. So a standard 4-3-3 build of agility, cunning, and will. I think clones can only do 4-3 though, right? Yeah. Cunning I don't find to be nearly as important to this tree's playstyle as agility and will. And also the agility should be a 4. Even though you have so much help with piloting, I don't think you have a whole lot of bread and butter piloting help. Just like, here's some basic help that you can do all the time. A little bit, but not much. I don't think it's mostly really big stuff. You pick your moment when to use it, which is fun for gameplay, but it's probably not something where you should rely on your talents to help supplement okay dice pool of 3 agility and whatever piloting. And of course, 4 agility for better shooting, better combat. You gotta do something when you're on the ground, right? You can't spend the entire campaign in a ship. Some campaigns you could spend the entire campaign on the ship, but most you can't. So 4 agility, 3 will, it's probably a good way to go. They get a bit of an edge with mechanics, and you might be expected to keep the vehicles up and running. It can't hurt, so maybe if you want to go intellect instead of will, there might be enough help here. I mean, really, if you think about it, you and your ship are sharing strain and system strain, so you can make a case for will not being that important, at which point something like a 3 in intellect would work with a 4 in agility, but, it's your call. I like a high will and using that extra help with strain to just push myself as hard as possible. I don't know. It's a really good tree, really defensive, a little bit of hot shot from Ace, a little bit of pilot from Ace/Smuggler, a little bit of team support, which is nice, and if you're in a campaign with lots of droids, you actually have a decent amount of help on the ground with Clanker Killer. So overall, a pretty good tree as far as pilots go. Anyway, that is it for today. If you like this video and want to see more, you know where to find me.